Hello, and today in Dwarf Fortress we have an interesting tale for you. One that takes place in a fortress known as Woundbolted, on the edge of the Plain Dunes. It's a tale about a dwarf named Prophet, who lives inside of a warm cage, kept away from the rest of the dwarves. Born in the year 181, she was the eldest daughter of Solon Treatywood and Moral Kruggsmash. As she grew up in the fortress of Chuckbolts, she became a farmer in the year 193. Prophet's parents were married in the year 178. However, in the year 213, Prophet's mother gave up being a fishery worker and became a peddler due to injury, and died shortly after. They grieved for many years, but after the grieving had finished, in the late year of mid-autumn 278, they settled in a new fortress known as Woundbolted, and became members of the Rocks of Birth and the Persuasive Tombs. In Woundbolted, Prophet became a farmer, and a damn fine one indeed, and her father became a legendary weaponsmith, working hard on his trade. But this is where the family's problems begin. In the late spring of 280, Tun, the werepig, bit Prophet, infecting her with a devil's curse. It was a violent bloody melee, with many dwarves involved. But Prophet was the only one who received the curse, being forced to be locked deep beneath the fortress, in a tomb of her own making, etching in the walls of all the creatures she could become every full moon. Why did it have to be a pig? She groveled in her sadness, sipping old booze from the barrels left for her, and sleeping in an artifact bed, for that was the only object she could not destroy. The dwarves of Woundbolted told her that she should be happy they let her live. They only decided to spare her life because she was the daughter of a legendary weaponsmith, and her father demanded it. The dwarves had to listen and respect his wishes. So there she lay, deep under the mountain, in a slowly expanding prison. In the corner of her prison she had a small temple, dedicated to the god Savat Kaldlarged, who is a deity that occurs in the midst of the Rocks of Birth. Savat was most often depicted as a female dwarf associated with persuasion. She attempted to persuade the dwarves to let her out and release her, but it was no use. But one day, there was an ambush on the surface. An army of elves invaded, and she got an idea. What if she slowly chipped her way out? Would anyone really notice that she was gone, aside from the screams during the full moon? Well, that's a tale for another day. For until this day, she remains deep under the fortress of Woundbolted, waiting